BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm your Thursday guy for BodyBags, and this week I'm doing all fun and games. I'm a bit sick, and that just happened to be the start. Oh, I think that was pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, all fun and games. So it's not bad. It's not an indie movie, but it kind of is an indie movie, and it's really hard to be like, well, which is it? Because it's technically an indie movie in how it was made and, you know, how it came out, right? But in the same sense, it's not really an indie movie because of who helped make the movie, like produced and whatnot, which is like, they're really big people. So, for example, I mean, the cast is, I mean, there are a lot of, they're all young, and the oldest ones that are like the big name people, Asa Butterfield and Natalie Dyer. Natalie Dyer, Stranger Things, Nancy, and then Asa Butterfield's just a bunch of different stuff. But like, for the most part, I think Asa's only been in a couple of horror projects. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, so there's that. The directors seemed like, not that there are no names, but the kind of no-name people. They don't really have that much to their filmography, so I guess you could say that this is their big break. It's not really a break unless they make something out of it, but hey, I liked the movie. I thought it was pretty good. It's about an hour and 17 minutes, and it's a solid plot. But back a little bit. The Russo brothers were the executive producers. They're known for helping out with the MCU, so, you know, the Marvel movies and whatnot. And it was just weird that's like, okay, I get they're doing, you know, they did a few other stuff that aren't Marvel, and, you know, they're like action or whatever, but they they produced this? Huh, interesting. And I thought it was a nice movie. So let's go on the plot right now. These teens in Salem find this knife, and they accidentally unleash a demon, and they have to play gruesome childhood games. So like hangman, literally getting hanged, hide and seek, if you get found you get killed, stuff like that. And then, you know, it's like an hour and 17-ish minutes, so I mean, like, it's not that long, and I would say, you know, for what it is, I think it was really nice, because it's the kind of movie that if you put an extra 30 minutes on it, then I'm like, okay, the movie kind of sucked a little, because it's like, how do you drag on that long? But it's like, they quite literally said, okay, here's the idea, and let's add just a little bit to it. I think that's perfect. Let's make a movie, and it ended up being in 120 minutes? No, my bad, not 120 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. So there's this knife, right? And, well, let's go back a bit. There's this family. The dad died a long time ago, so it's the mom, her brother, and then the daughter, and then two sons. The daughter, Natalie Dyer, the older son, Asa, and then the younger brother. And so the brothers are out, the younger and older brother are out and about, and they happen to find this weird looking cabin that's like, ooh, this is pretty cool, let's go investigate. And they find a knife in this book there. And it's like, if you touch the knife, then you're gonna start having voices in your head, kind of thing. And the more you hold on to the knife, the more it takes over, kind of thing. Asa ends up taking the knife from the brother, and then he starts getting influenced, well, a little later on, right? And then Asa becomes the main killer, I guess, of the movie. And I would say it was really nice how the movie went about it. Because, like, one thing I really like, and it's like, I don't think I've ever really seen this in horror movies, where if a person gets possessed and kills people and then comes back to, I don't really think I've ever seen the person kind of freak out. Because, yeah, my point of view is you would freak out about that You know, you just got possessed, you killed people. It's like, oh my god, I killed people, but it's like, you know, it wasn't really you, but you still technically killed people. You would probably freak out a little bit, and he freaked out a little bit in it, and then he broke through and helped save the day at the end, kind of thing. But yeah, overall, I really liked this movie, and I think it's worth the watch. And the fact is that I didn't know this was a movie until I went to Walmart about a week ago, and I was like, hey, this is a movie, let's go do it. And so if you want to go watch it, I'm sure it's out streaming somewhere, but it's at Walmart for like $10. So I would say you definitely should get it. Help the cause, right? And I think you won't. I think you'll like it. There's some blood in it. I don't think there's no like gore in it. Yeah, there's no like gore, but you know, there's blood in it. You know, people get stabbed and stuff. Yeah. The makeup looked pretty good. I think it was makeup anyway. I don't think there was really any CGI, unless it was background stuff or maybe a tiny bit extra that was added. But like, it looked all practical in my opinion. Now I only watched it one time, of course, but I'm pretty confident that they hardly use CGI for it. Yeah, I mean, I think when it's all said and done, this was a really nice indie movie to watch. And it just came out in 2023. So yeah, if I had to rate this movie right now, I'd probably give it, yeah, I'll probably give it a 7.5. Definitely worth a watch. If I had any problems with this movie, I don't have any real problems, I don't think. Yeah, I don't have any, like, actual problem with it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no real, like, problem I could go and point at and be like, hey, there's a problem. So, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. There's probably something in it that's like, oh, that's weird or whatever, but, like, I think overall it was fine. It was, like, an hour and 20, and, like, I think the more movies that come out that are like an hour and 20, the better movies will be in general, because for the most part, movies now are like an hour and 45 or longer, and sometimes that just kills it. And sometimes movies are just meant to be an hour and 20. Like, I mean, like, how long was Frankenstein? How long was The Wolfman? How long was Dracula? They weren't like super long, I don't think. I'm pretty sure Frankenstein was like an hour and 20 or less. So it's like, you don't need a 2-hour movie to make a good movie. You just need a good story and enough in it to make it good. And I think this was that. Now people on IMDb, I don't know how many people voted, but I saw that it was, on IMDb it's like a 4.4 out of 10. Sorry. I'm not sure why that is. Now I probably should have looked at their reviews and their point of views. And you know what? I'm just gonna take a pause and I'm gonna come back. Okay, so I went back and I looked at the reviews and then looked at a couple other stuff too. There's a lot of like bland things, like, oh, the movie's bad, but it's like, I think people looking to nitpick it, looking to hate it. Now, there was one 10 out of 10 review, and it seemed a little robotic, but I mean, like, I would more agree with that 10 out of 10 than any of the 5 out of 10s or whatever. Because I'm looking at it, and I don't think there's really a big problem with it. I mean, like, okay, yeah, I get it, it's short, but maybe that's just maybe that's better. I mean, like, if you put 30 minutes on this movie, maybe the movie ends up sucking, right? Like, look at Skinamarink, right? That's a great short film, but they made the movie like an hour longer than it should have been, kind of thing. And it kind of sucks, and it's not that it sucks, it's just it's super boring, and so boring leads to suck. And so, I guess, ultimately, it sucks. Which sucks, because I thought it was an interesting movie. Yeah. So, you know, the critics were full of it. I say you should watch it, at least once. I don't think it's bad at all. I think it's way better than a few other movies that I've done. Like, it's better than Abominable. It's better than that haunted house movie I did a few months back, where the English was dubbed over English dubbed English. It's just so stupid. It's better than an older 70s movie, Invasion of the Blood Farmers. It's not bad. It's definitely worth a watch, and I don't get the hate. I went back at the directors to see if they, why that whole thing was a thing. And from what I'm saying, there were 2 directors. I forget their names. I just looked at it. I just looked at it. But one of them, though, has worked with the Russo brothers since like 2010, and the other one's probably just a friend of the other director. So it's probably the 2 directors, and they're coming up with this idea. And then the one that's friend with the Russo brothers was like, hey, can you help make this movie? Here's the script, and here's the idea. You want to help make it? And they're like, oh, sure, let's go. We helped you out. You helped us, or whatever. We'll help you out a little bit. Something stupid like that. Anyway, point is, I thought it was a great movie. Yeah, maybe not great, but it was a really good movie. Definitely worth a watch. And I don't really, I think the only reason this movie would suck to someone is if they're coming in trying to make the worst out of it. In which, in my opinion, I think it's a really nice movie. Very well made. Well, yeah. I think everything was just nice about it, so. I'm Sam, I'm your thirsty guy for BodyBags. I did all fun and games, and if I had to rate the movie right now, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Suck it. I'll see y'all next week. Oh, and you're gonna love next week. Bye.